Hey foodie friends, this is Tiffany Foreman and I'm bringing you recipes, tips, fun, and more. And in today's video, I'm going to make a quick grilled cheese sandwich in our new deluxe air fryer. So this was an idea that came to me from a friend in another part of the country, and I thought, why not try this? So I'm going to do this experiment with all of you watching at home so you can see how it turns out. So at my house, I need to know what everyone calls this piece of bread. At my house, we call it the butt of the bread, and nobody eats the butts of the bread. So I don't mind the butts now that I'm an adult. It's okay that it is crust-like. And I usually use this for like the inside of my grilled cheese, because then that way it's kind of covered up by the cheese. So here's what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna put the cheese on this part, but we're gonna butter this part. So here's what you got. You've got my little all-purpose spreader here, and I'm going to just use some good old butter, and I'm gonna actually butter this side. Do you guys butter just one side of your bread? I tend to just do the one side, and then on the other side is where I'm going to do our cheese. So I'm going to grab one of the wire racks that you use for the air fryer, and that way, as you can see, heat and everything can come through this side as well. So I'm going to put this butter side down. Actually, I'm going to turn them that way so I have a little bit more room. And then I usually just put the cheese on the inside. So I grated some cheese using my coarse microplane there. Always use block cheese in our house. And then I actually found these cream cheese holders. They hold a block of cheese perfect. I had to buy them online, but we always have block cheese in our house, and so this is a perfect way to store block cheese. So I'm gonna take our cheese, I'm gonna put a little bit on this side, and a little bit on this side. You guys probably know one of my 4 C's I never measure: chicken, chocolate, cheese, and calories. So we just keep loading it on. Now I thought it might be fun to add a little meat to this, or protein, additional protein, I guess I should say. So we just always have pepperonis in our house, so I'm gonna use some pepperonis. All right, so let's just take a couple of these and put them on there too. So I thought about I could have done this with a tortilla, because as you can tell, this is the very end of my bread, and unless I go to the store today, that is all the bread that we have is that. So maybe we'll just put a little extra cheese on there to use all that up. All right, so then what we're gonna do is, my son actually just finished using the air fryer, so it is still a little warm in there, but I'm gonna open it up. As you can see, this is the drip tray down the bottom, and then there are 3 levels that you can put these trays on. So they got your first level, your middle level, and your top level. I'm actually gonna put it on the top, and that is closest to the heating element there. And then I'm just gonna rotate to air fry. It defaults to 400 degrees, but I'm only gonna do about 8 minutes on that. So let's go rotate that down to 8 and then hit start. So a couple things about our air fryer is air fry defaults to 400 degrees, bake defaults to 350, and roast defaults to 375. I honestly can't remember what rotisserie, reheat, and dehydrate default to, because I use these 3 all the time. Last night for dinner, or I guess it was 2 nights ago, Drew decided to have a little frozen pizza, and he popped it in there, and he said the perfect time was 6 minutes. So anything that you do normally that is frozen, it is perfect for doing frozen pizzas, chicken nuggets, french fries, all that stuff. So it comes with 2 of these racks. So there are times that I've put, like, you know, enough food on both of them, or I've done 2 different foods at the same time, that I just rotate. One thing that's going to happen with our time here, as you can see, it's at 8 minutes. When we get to the halfway point, which is at the 4-minute mark, it's going to beep at me for me to rotate. Now, if I had 2 of these trays in, I would take the top tray and put it underneath and then move the bottom tray to the top. There are also times at that part I also rotate it this way. I don't think that has as much of an effect as rotating from top to bottom. So what happens with your air fryer when you're on the air fry mode is it's working like a convection oven. So you kind of probably hear the noise that it's making. It's sucking in air and it's rotating it. So it's heating that air very fast. If I was to open that door right now, it would go back up to 400 degrees super fast, much faster than an oven. And so why it's happening there is the air is circulating like around this tray over and over and around, and you know, around it that way, at a higher speed than your oven. And it's because it's more condensed. So it's going around it, and you're going to get that crispier result when you do this. So like I said, 400 defaults, air fry defaults to 400, bake is 350, roast is 375. And then I also love that it comes with this cooking guide so that you know how to use it. And it gives you ideas, so you can see the parts right there. You also, it tells you the settings. So like I said, air fry defaults to 400, but it also defaults to the 25 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Tells you all of that right there. And then it gives you some ideas of what to do. So I love that it gives us, the kids, I just told the kids, like, just reference this. If you're making something from the freezer, we love chicken nuggets still, even with teenagers, they love them. They know just to kind of do them for 10 to 15 minutes if they're already pre-cooked and they're just frozen. You've got some of your veggie options. One thing we love doing, which I never thought I would do, were chickpeas. The chickpeas come out like little tater tots. They're pretty amazing. It's a really good recipe. Rotisserie, and then your dehydrate. So I'm really looking forward to doing a dehydrate recipe here soon. I really want to do get a fresh pineapple and do that, because that has looked really tasty on the videos my friends have done. And with that, it's a 6-hour process. So you can kind of see here that dehydrate is definitely a longer process. If you've ever dehydrated anything, you probably know that. All right, and then there's all these different recipes. So chicken wings, homemade French fries. There's a basket. Since mine's off camera right now, I'll just show you the picture right here. There's a basket that goes in there, and it rotates just like I call that like a spit. Yeah, that's what it is, a spit. So these two rotate in there because there's further back these like lock into place so they can rotate. So we did the French fries on a rotate. The coconut shrimp was amazing. Like I said, I have not dehydrated yet. Looking forward to doing that. We made homemade tenders, excellent. We have not done cod, but we have done tilapia. Lidl and Aldi around here have fish that's never been frozen, and the kids love the tilapia for that. We just use blackened or Cajun seasoning on that. Chicken parm, stromboli is definitely something that I want to get because I want to get, oh, there's our beep. So excuse my ADD moment. It just beeped at the 4-minute mark. All right, so you can take that out. Oh, I don't think it even needs any more time. Look at that. That looks amazing. That only took 4 minutes. That's pretty cool. All right, so this is very hot, so I'm gonna close my door. I'm actually gonna cancel that. And it's gonna cool itself down. That's why it's kind of making that noise. So let's see. Look at that. That is beautiful. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put it, oh, actually, you know what? I'll just put it in this is still warm. I'm gonna put it back in there and let that side get kind of crispy. So we'll just go back to air fry. I have, what, 4 minutes left? So let's just go 3. And we'll see how it comes out. So that's kind of, the stromboli is where I left off. That's definitely something that is on our wish list to make. And then a rotisserie chicken. I need to get some of the, what is that stuff called? The cooking twine, or you can order silicone ones, I've seen people say, and do one of those. Any kind of dessert little things. You might have seen my post about fried Oreos and how that is such a good idea of something like that to make. But here's the hand pie recipe. So I love that there's recipes for every single setting that you've got in there. So much more to do that you can do with this. I love that we're not turning on my big oven. Even though it's not extremely hot right now, it's just so much easier to just turn this on and make this than it is to get the oven all hot. But I guess if anybody else in my family wants any, they have 1 piece of bread left before we go to the store. So there's the halfway point in the last 3 minutes there, so let's check it. Oh my gosh, that looks perfect. Oh, nice and crispy. I could flip it over, maybe do the other side, but I think I'm good. That looks amazing, doesn't it? Oh, I cannot wait. So I'm gonna have to let that cool. I do want to show you, I'm gonna just move this kind of out of our way while this cools off camera, this is the drip tray. This comes out super easy, cleans off super easy. It is not dishwasher safe, but you won't even need it because you're just gonna rinse it off. This is still very hot. And then The inside does definitely, let me hit cancel. Oh, I probably have to close that. You may be thinking, okay, well, I do stuff that's a lot more crummy than that. How am I going to clean all of that? So what's really cool, hopefully this is not too warm, is the door comes off just like that. So I had to be taught how to do that because I didn't know. And I had all these crumbs in there. So it's super easy to wipe that out and clean it all up when you're done. And let me show you, you can kind of see on the camera. So see right there, that's where the rotisserie spit and the rotisserie basket would go. It has one on each side. So super amazing, deluxe air fryer. And Pampered Chef continues to amaze me every time we have new products. So I hope you've enjoyed our video on how to make a little crispy cheese and pepperoni sandwich in our deluxe air fryer. And I appreciate your business, especially during this time where small business definitely needs all the support it can get. And continue to follow me for recipes, tips, fun, and more. Thanks, foodies.